Now, through the miracles of modern technology, zany worldwide banner featuring Tom, Michelle, and Jim in an on-topic, off-topic free-for-all. Welcome to the Gun Talk After Show.
It's the After Show, where we have lots of fun and talk about stuff and guns, and we'll probably continue talking about the same things we were talking about before, because we're kind of monotone on this thing. We don't really have...
We have no depth whatsoever.
We have no depth. We're depthless. So Michelle is here.
Hello.
Hi, Michelle.
Hi, how are you?
Hello. And Jim's hanging around in the corner because he's sulking. He skulks around. That's
Yeah, I'm so sad. I only got one gun this week. Michelle got
You got
two.
one gun. Michelle got that. So, all right, Michelle, you finally got your revolver.
I did. I got my revolver. And imagine, as soon as my paperwork was cleared, I went to the range.
Imagine that.
Imagine.
It's nice having your own range.
It
right?
is nice. Yes, I have membership there.
I guess you do. Since the building has your name on it, so that's okay. That's not a bad thing. All right, so you got the Ruger LCR, the revolver in the .327 Federal.
Right.
What ammo did you shoot?
Well, to start with, I shot 32 long, and it shot fantastic. I wasn't sure, because for those of you who don't know, it is a double action only revolver. I wasn't really sure how I could feel, because I like to feel the timing of the cylinder, and I didn't know live shooting wise how it would go, but it was great. It timed up. I could feel that. I could shoot without any kind of problems as far as accessing the sights. And no, I'm very excited. So anybody who thought that, oh, it's lightweight, it's only double action, and want to shy away from it, please do not. It's extremely manageable, still with the .327, and still in the 32 longs, it still feels like you're shooting a pellet gun or a .22. It's just really easy shooting. Gosh, it's just great.
That's that revolver has a really nice double action pull. It's different from some of the older revolvers. I just think it's smooth and you just sweep it right through. I like it.
Yeah, it was great. So thank you. I love my gun. And I have to invite Jim over to try it.
Oh, God, I have to, I guess.
He was browbeating me.
Heck yeah. Who wouldn't?
Is this a BYOA
Yes.
Yes.
affair? Yes.
Yeah.
And then he can bring his own cleaning agents, too.
Okay, no problem.
He'll be using Ajax or something on there, so I'd be careful.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
mine. Don't be gentle. It's a rental.
It's not my gun. I don't care. Yeah, steel wool. Good to go. Ay.
So, yeah.
I tell you what, we got a couple of callers here. Let's try to get to those. Then we can talk about, you guys have had something else happen in your part of the world we'll talk about. Let's see. Who do we have, guys? We have Bill in Anchorage. Let's see. Hey, Bill, you there, man?
Bill is hanging in here.
Hey, Bill, what you doing, man?
Well, I got actually two questions. The first one is, many years ago, I mean, we're going back half a century, I was using a Lawrence shoulder holster for a .44 Magnum. It fit underneath my shoulder, kept it out of the rain, yet you usually got the front of your rain jacket open a bit, so it was readily reachable. The thing about that holster that was so great is there was a spring that grasped around the cylinder, so there was no straps, no Velcro, or no buttons to push. You just pulled it out. It worked beautiful. It's kind of wore out through 50 years of use off and on. But I can't find anything that I could use, say, a single stack or double stack 9mm or 45. I mean, these here, they make them up here, up in the valley, north of Anchorage. He makes a holster, but it fits right across the center of your chest. It's too visible.
Yeah, and I'm with you. When I was in Alaska, I carried a .44 Magnum on a shoulder holster underneath the arm, same thing you're describing. Didn't have the Lawrence, did not have the spring thing on it, but I don't think there was any kind of strap or retainer on it. I think maybe just the weight of the gun kept it in there, if I remember right. I'd have to dig it out. But I'm just looking up right now, and I see a lot of people referencing the Lawrence shoulder holster, but I'm not seeing anybody who's making one right now.
Well, Lawrence, I haven't been able to contact them. I think they've gone out of business or were bought out. I don't know. I haven't tried some of your other people that advertise gun holsters and kits. Most of it's, in the belt stuff and that. I'm looking at it this way. I'm a GI, John Q. Public, driving my pickup truck. You got a shoulder harness going across you. You can reach into a shoulder harness, being a southpaw. I can reach into a shoulder harness as if I was getting to release the seat belt buckle and have it out.
Interesting idea. Yeah, I see
with
where
all
you're
the
going
stuff
there.
that's in the waistbands that you're sitting on and everything, they're uncomfortable.
Yep, I understand what you're saying. And if you're spending all your time sitting, I can see an argument for a shoulder holster. Well, there are a lot of people who are making shoulder holsters now, so you should be able to find something that will work. You're just going to have to do a little shopping because I'm not really up on all the shoulder holsters. But I would say, I'm sure you can find one. Look, Bill, I appreciate it. Good idea, interesting idea. Thank you for the call. Interesting idea, guys, of using a shoulder holster when you're driving because it's easier to get to that, perhaps, than a belt holster.
Yeah, I actually had a Lawrence shoulder holster years ago.
Did you?
And I loved it because it's like a clamshell. It's spring-loaded, not just with the cylinder, all the way down the barrel. And you open it up. That way you can draw out of conventional draw out of the holster, or if you have to break away and pull it right out the front, it'll snap open. It's really cool.
Okay, well, that's pretty neat. I'll have to look into that. I know I have that old holster that I used to wear when I lived in Alaska. That was 30 years ago. It's down in the bottom of one of the holster boxes. So, if I dig around in there, I bet I can find it. But I carried a 6-inch Smith 686 44 Magnum.
Nice.
Whenever I was walking around out in bear country, as my friend Jim Reardon used to say, he says, well, I would ask him, I said, well, what's bear country? He said, anything that's not paved.
Everywhere. Right.
And even then a few times, yeah.
And even then, that's right, exactly. Depends on where the paving is. Tell you what, let's get Sandy in here on 3 out of California. Hey, Sandy, thank you for calling.
Hey, how's it doing? I'm in lousy California, so I think we got a 10-round magazine limit here. So we're already kind of screwed to start with.
Amen.
But I was piddling around for the last 2 years thinking about getting a concealed carry, and when that thing went off on Friday, in fact, I was ordering 1,500 rounds of ammo out of Minnesota, and the guy said, are you watching the news? And no. What's going on? Oh, in France, these crazy guys have shot all these people. And I thought, well, time to get the concealed carry, because you'd sure hate to be in a big building and people going around shooting everybody, and you're thinking, I could have had a gun with me.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda.
Yeah, sure woulda. So anyway.
So what are you thinking? What are you going to get?
Well, I've already got a Springfield Armory XD9 that really, really, really shoots nice. I've got one of Smith & Wesson M&P, that thin model that they made in 9mm. And I haven't shot it yet, I don't think, but that would be a nice carry gun because it is thinner. I've got a Glock 19, but I don't think I'm going to carry that. Then my favorite gun is a Smith & Wesson 586 revolver, but that's the L frame. That's too big.
Welcome to Sandy's Gun Talk.
You've got a few options. That's good.
I love it.
Sandy, what don't you have?
Well, I've only got 2 ARs.
Oh, only. It's early. It's still early.
And then I've got a Ruger single six and an old 1873 Winchester.
Our kind of girl.
Yeah, really. I've been into guns all my life.
Are you married? That's the question.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm divorced. But, yeah, he was into guns, too. In fact, he was even a better shot than me. His school had a pistol team. Or no, it was a rifle team. School actually had a rifle team. Boy, that's something you're never going to see in California again.
Yeah.
No, I guess you're right. Well, honestly, you've got some good choices there. The XD9 is a really good pistol. If you prefer the single stack, the Smith & Wesson you've got will work. Any of those will work. The main thing is get the paperwork done, get the carry permit, and then start figuring out how you're going to carry. And
that's the other thing. I'm still, even though I'm 68, I've still got the nipped-in waistline, and I'm thinking, I don't know, maybe right, left side, I don't know. I kind of like the cross-draw thing, but it's going to kind of ride right in there. I'm just going to end up getting a few more pairs of men's Levi's, and you got a little extra room in the waist, and you do the inside the waistband thing. That's what I think I'm going to do. But I'm actually thinking about, my brother had that little Glock, I don't know if it's a 43 or it's that little one. His is in
43,
380.
probably. Oh, the 380 is the Model 42.
That, and I was thinking, that wouldn't be too bad in an ankle carry.
Funny you mention it. I tried a 42, Glock 42, in an ankle carry yesterday. And I guess maybe I'm never going to be able to do ankle carry because my legs, I've always had these really big calves. And I don't know if it's because of all the athletic stuff I did when I was a kid. But I almost can't get an ankle holster strapped around my calf and have a pistol in it. So I don't know what I'm going to do. But for a lot of people, that is a really good choice. Let me throw out an idea or a place to go for an ankle holster. I think the Crossbreed holster people have them. They make some regular belt holsters, but I think they've got an ankle holster. Also, there's one that was called the Renegade holster, but it's now owned by Wilderness Tactical. If you look up Wilderness Tactical, it's a really nice design. So you could try one of those. A lot of ways to go there, but let's see. We've got a lady who has all these guns, got pistols, got rifles, got ARs, and from your own description of yourself, I'll tell you what, some of these listeners on Gun Talk can figure out where you are. You may not be single too much longer.
Well, I've always thought it's just so weird because I used to really like to watch football. Now I've kind of got back over to baseball, and I'm thinking, man, I got it made. We can be sitting around watching football on Sunday, and he can be drinking a beer, and I'll be drinking a Pepsi, and, we'll be all happy, and then we can go out and shoot, and if he wants to hunt, I'll go hunting. I won't shoot any animals, but I don't mind other people doing it. And, I marry somebody, he hates football, he's into shooting, but, we're just doing the business all the time. He's got this business, and, we never have any spare time, and that's finally what tore the whole thing open. I got to go out and shoot. I got to have money for guns. I got to do this, that, and the other thing. So, yeah.
The Gun Talk Love Connection.
There you go. That's right. The ballistic match.com or something like that. I don't know what it is. Oh, gosh. Well, look, thank you, Sandy. I appreciate it. I think, get that carry permit. And then the other thing is, seriously, even if you know how to shoot, go take a class on tactical shooting where you're moving and shooting and that kind of a thing, because it's different from just standing and shooting at paper targets. And that's really good. And the other thing is, you know what, you'd enjoy it. It'd be a lot of fun. And there are those classes. Oh, I know. A good resource for you. In California is a website called CalGuns, CalGuns.net, CalGuns.net. And a lot of California is sharing information about politics, but also where to shoot, what kinds of guns, and what the laws are there. So if anybody in California, CalGuns.net is a really good website, good information. Thank you, Sandy. I appreciate the call. Well, that was a hoot, guys.
Yeah.
And the only question I really had first was she's talking about carrying one gun, it sounds like.
Well, I think she's trying to figure out how to do two with the ankle carry and what one to do as a backup. That's why I took it.
Yeah, actually, you're right. Probably a belt holster and then an ankle carry. That's a good combination, really. It really is. I'm still going to work on it. I think maybe somewhere way back in the closet, I still have some of those bell bottoms, and that would work pretty well for that.
Paisley bell bottoms.
Paisley, yes, of course. But I'll have to wear the beads if I do that. So
right on, dude.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. Peace, love, dove, or something. I don't know, whatever it is. Oh, well, I'll tell you what, let's take a quick break, and then we'll come back. We're going to talk about some new guns that arrived and some other stuff. And also, as I'm looking at the news right now, I see French Air Force conducting major bombardment against ISIS targets. Way to go, France. Go get them.
I guess the part I don't understand is I'm sure they knew those were there ahead of time. They didn't just find out today and go bomb them. I wonder why, intelligence in general that we're supposedly share. If you know where all these places are, why weren't they taken out?
Well, that's a good question. I guess they said, hey, that's not our job. There's other people fighting this battle, and we're not going to escalate it. And France saying, we're not going to escalate this. Well, it just happened to them, so they're going, okay, you guys want to play? Yeah. Here we go.
I guess.
We're going to wipe out, let's see, what do they say? They hit their command center, recruitment center, ammunition storage base, and a training camp. And all the targets were destroyed.
All right.
Yay! So there it is. All right, we'll be right back after this.
Want your next gun purchase to be fast and hassle-free? Well, at galleryofguns.com, you can search through thousands of models from our huge firearms inventory. Find a great offer from a local dealer that includes all fees and taxes. And there's no need to arrange a transfer. Gallery of Guns takes a small deposit on your credit card, and your gun will be at your chosen dealer in as little as 48 hours. Plus, your gun will be covered by our guaranteed lifetime replacement warranty. GalleryofGuns.com. Search, find, buy. It really is just that easy.
And we're back here. So, Michelle, you got your revolver.
I do. You want to come shoot it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have. Wait, we actually have one. I just haven't been out to the range with it, but we have one. You know what? I don't know. I don't know if I have any ammo. Oh yeah, I'll call Mr. McNett over at Double Tap Ammo, and Mike will send us some ammo.
Yes,
we'll get that done.
Sweet.
Yeah,
yeah. There you go.
It couldn't be any better. I tell you, that's the perfect firearm. Male, female, doesn't matter. It's a great gun.
And I think the weird thing is that they just changed their shipping address to my house. So when Tom has to return that one, he's.
You'll give me an address. You'll send me a label, huh?
Sure, yeah. It's a return authorization. We need to check that out.
I could have sworn Prescott was in the West.
Strange how that happens. Actually, it's funny you mentioned that. I just put out a tweet this week. We were returning a whole stack of pistols to STI. Makes some really nice 1911s. And just happened to glance at one of them on the outside of the box and looked at the serial number and went, oh, wait, stop. And just opened up the box, and it's a double-stack 1911 in 9mm. I think it holds like 412 rounds or something. It's incredible. But,
drum mag.
But the serial number is TG and then some numbers. I'm thinking,
boy, who are you giving that away to?
Do I have to send that one back?
Do you know anybody that could? Yeah.
I don't know. Let me get back to you on that.
Because that's what you need is another 1911. You don't have enough, do you?
Funny you should say that because that's what I need. I did shoot. Let me see what I got. Can't talk about that one. We were.
What a tease.
Well, it's that time of year, guys, when I'm getting to shoot all this stuff, and you're having to sign these non-disclosure agreements, it's NDAs, and I'm thinking, when can I? No, can't talk. Okay, but actually during the break, Jim, you were asking me about a 9mm 1911.
Right.
Got to tell you, I was just out with Rob Latham, and he is so gaga over 9mm 1911s. It's hilarious. I mean, this is a guy that has shot everything, right? Mm-hmm. And he said, man, they're accurate. They don't kick. They carry a lot of ammo. I mean, it's like sweetest things ever. So I was saying, if you get one, go ahead and don't get a small cut down one. Get you a full-size 1911 because the weight of the gun will really tame the massive recoil of the 9mm cartridge.
Or get both.
Yeah,
get one of each. The trick to those non-disclosure forms, you just sign Ryan's name. That's how you get around it.
Yeah, that's right. They blame it on Ryan. That's right.
See how that works?
Yeah. And they'll say, well, but wait, when we listen to the recording of this radio show, it doesn't sound like
Ryan talking.
Yeah. So, but no, there's some cool stuff coming down. This will give away all the details. There are new guns being introduced in 9mm.
No way.
Yeah.
That uncommon round?
Yeah. Let's see. I blew it. I gave away all the information. So there you go. But if you want to go one more than 9, what would you get? You'd get a 10.
Because they don't make an 11 yet.
That's right. Is that your answer? That's what you said when people ask you why you have a 10?
Yeah, why have you been carrying a 10 lately? Because they don't make an 11 yet.
So, you got your guns.
Plural now. I'm going to have to buy a left-handed holster just so I can double open carry.
That's right, because you already had a GT20 pistol, but now
I did.
You and Michelle got your very limited edition GT20.
Yes, from Tom. Yes. The TG. The G stands for generous. You know that, don't you? We both have GT20s now. It is so cool.
You do. You have your own GT20s with a special Team GUNTALK on them.
That's right. Who else has that? Nobody.
Me.
Okay. Besides you and maybe Tom.
There's 5 of them total.
Okay, see that?
There's 5.
That's awesome.
So, I tell you what happened when Ryan picked his up? First, he racked the slide, cut his hand.
Oh.
Yeah.
That rear sight, it's a target rear sight on it, and it's sharp. And we're so used to using these self-defense guns with like the Novak Slim, sights and all. Mm-hmm. He put his hand right out there going, rip. Oh, Oh, geez, may holes.
Well,
okay.
see, I'm an optimist. I see that the upside is he used proper technique.
This is true, right over the top.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes, he did.
So if I was going to carry that gun for defensive use, I would take a file to the rear sight and just knock the sharp edge off, the point on either side. Not a lot. It's just, I know, it drives you crazy, but it's a working tool.
I thought you were going to say you'd get a very stiff belt. That's what you're going to need.
Stiff belt?
You're going to need a stiff belt to carry that on a holster.
No, not alcohol.
No.
No. Say, if I'm going to cut my hand, then I'm going to have a stiff drink on this thing.
No.
You don't think I'm going to shoot this gun sober, do you? Come on.
Gun belt.
You need a stiff belt to carry that for a holster.
You're not kidding. It is a heavy gun, isn't it?
It is, yes.
Yeah,
but what
I
it's
tried it
designed
once.
for
Yeah.
is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now, you've shot yours a fair amount at this point, haven't you, Jim?
Oh, yeah. I've probably got 500 rounds through it, I'd guess.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
And
The
then
trigger's
people
great.
And people worry about the recoil of a 10 millimeter. Not a big deal.
No, well, to be honest, I haven't shot 10 millimeter man-stopper loads. I've been using just FMJ practice stuff, and it's super manageable. It's no big deal. And I think a lot of that is the weight, the mass of the firearm.
Right.
It's a big gun, and a lot of that is you're shooting those wimpy 10 millimeter loads, which are really nothing more than 40 cal, like 40 Smith & Wesson equivalent loads. You go stick the big ones in there, it'll jump. But if you're going to shoot a big gun like that, it's a big caliber. You ought to have a bigger gun. It just helps you with the recoil and management. I thought of it as a hunting gun. I know there are people who got it and think they're going to make it a carry gun. And for those who don't know, the GT20 program is over. We're not doing the GUNTALK guns, but you can still get the 10 millimeter SIG P220 in various configurations. It's a double action, single action, and in single action. So they have several different configurations. So you can still get those from SIG or from your dealer.
Sweet.
So there you go. Now, you haven't shot that one yet, have you, Michelle?
Actually, yes. One of our listeners who is in the area, he had gotten his in and brought it into the store for my husband and I to both be able to shoot. So he was very gracious with allowing that. And yes, I did shoot it. And even for me, obviously, my hands aren't big man hands. It still was not hard to control. And I don't have a ton of experience with that caliber either. So no, it is a good gun. It does its purpose. It's large but not crazy recoil. And actually, the opportunities are out there to be able to use it in the capacity for hog hunting, like you said, and it's a great gun to be able to do that with because it is.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it is a carryable firearm. I joke about the fact that you need a stiff gun belt for that, but
and a chiropractor on call,
but it is a doable gun. So yeah, don't shy away from it if that's what you're looking for.
Well, like I say, if you want to balance out, you have the gun on one side and 8 magazines on the other side.
Or carry 2 of them like Jim.
or like Jim does, carry 2 of them. There you go.
I am going to try it. I'm going to buy a holster, probably use it for one day, but I'm going to buy a lefty holster.
That'll be for open carry, of course.
Of course.
Holy smoke. So what are you carrying? I'm carrying a 20 millimeter.
Because, again, they don't make 11.
That's right.
There you go. That's pretty much it. Holy smoke. Well, let me ask you. I talked to a lot of callers today, and we're asking them about the whole Paris attack and such. But I didn't ask you guys what your thoughts were on it.
Well, first of all, it's obviously a disgusting situation, and it does make you rethink. Do you lock the door behind you when you go in your house? Do you lock your car doors when you're driving down the road? And most of the newer cars are automatic lock too. Do you carry every day? Are you carrying currently? And just to give a shout out to the other women out there, whether you're single or married, whatever your situation is, with children, without, I think it's important to go out there and get the training and to get a concealed carry license, because you do not want to have to be reliant on that other person to take care of you. And I never realized, my husband, of course, reacted sooner than I did and got his concealed carry license. But when I actually had mine in hand, the relief that he felt, because now he knew that I had the ability to protect myself wherever I was, and he didn't have to. So it's a whole different perception.
Interesting point of, it wasn't just you who was affected by getting your permit. Your husband was relieved because, number one, he knew that he didn't have to protect you when you were out, when you were together, but also he knew that when you weren't together, you still had an option.
Yep. If I had known that thought was even there, I would have done it much sooner in retrospect. But, if you have children, get them trained. If they're of legal concealed carry age, get them in a class. It's just extremely important. You have to be able to protect yourself. And, as they say in the military, I got your six. You got to do that for one another.
It's like we talk to wives all the time and say, yeah, I got my permit, but I usually don't carry because usually I'm with my husband and he's carrying. I said, well, okay, great. And when he gets shot and he's on the ground and you got to protect him, now what? Yeah. It's kind of like all you get is crickets going, never thought of that. That's it. He can protect you, you can protect him, and the two of you together, it's not like you're twice as effective, you're like 5 times as effective.
Right. When
there's 2 of you who have been trained and know what you're doing.
Which is also a great argument for having the same piece with you and being able to swap mags and et cetera. Not
a bad idea.
Yeah, not a necessity, but boy, it sure could come in handy.
It could, yep. And for sure, you need to make sure you know how to run everybody's gun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that cross-training of all the firearms, it's important.
We got a lot of people now who have only shot semi-autos.
Yeah.
And it's going to sound weird, may not know what to do if they picked up a revolver.
Well, all the training we do, I picked up a revolver for the first time in probably 3 years last week. Well, 686 4-inch. It's like, how cool.
Ooh, nice.
Well, of course.
It's such a nice gun.
Bam, 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 click, 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 click. Old habits die hard.
You go, wait. And he's singing a couple of choruses of "Is That All There Is?"
You should have gotten the 7 shot.
Yeah, actually, it was a 7.
Was it a 7?
Because it blew my mind when I looked at him. Like, you get an extra round here. He's like, "Oh yeah, you're right."
Yeah, something's wrong with this.
That's right.
That's one more. That's right. That'd be one more. Mm-hmm. So, and I talk about this a lot, and I know people, they say, "Yeah, but do you know how to run an AK?" You're in the middle of this huge cluster going on, and the bad guys have AKs, and one of them dropped one, or you shot one of these guys, and the gun hits the ground, and you pick it up, and you now have a rifle. You've gotten an upgrade from your carry handgun. Do you know how to take the safety off? Do you know how to swap mags out on an AK? If you've never done it, you're going to struggle with it. You may not even be able to figure it all out. And that's the gun you're most likely to pick up in a terrorist attack.
Yeah, in heat of the moment, too. I mean, if you're tough enough to figure it out on your own on the range, where you have time and you're not under stress and adrenaline, good luck trying to figure it out.
This guy's got mags on him. You grab the mags off of him. You got the rifle. You can do mag swaps. Now you are much more effective because you have a rifle instead of a pistol, except that, it won't work, and I don't know how to get you think, well, I'll just take the mag out. Really? Okay, how's that work? Well, do you know how to rock? Do you know that you have to rock the mag in, et cetera, that kind of thing? So, and all you have to do is find one buddy who has one and say, hey, I'll buy the ammo. Can I shoot it? I don't know a single person who would ever say, no, you can't shoot my gun.
Right.
Have you ever run into anybody like that?
No.
Well, if you did, you just ban him anyway. So,
right.
You're out of here.
See ya.
But, I think the other thing that encompasses, too, Tom, and not to get into a whole different topic, but just kind of food for thought, is where and how do you store your guns? And where and how are you storing your magazines? Are they loaded, not loaded? Where's your ammo? Is it close by? I mean, there's lots of things to take into consideration when, we're talking about a situation like France is facing right now. Well,
it's a good point. And I'll tell you, I think if you can do it, I think having an AR or some type of long gun in your vehicle is not a bad idea. If you are near it and something happens, you can get it out. If you can fight your way back to it, you can get it out. And to your point, Michelle, are your magazines loaded? Are they loaded at your house? Because I would like to have, if I had an AR, I would like to have 6 loaded magazines. Would be a nice start. And people say, well, it's going to, the springs will take a set. Number one, do I care? Because it's going to take 20 years for that to happen. And no, number one, probably it's not going to happen. Number two, I don't care. Even if I ruined a magazine, it's a $12 magazine, who cares? And the other thing is, all you have to do is rotate them. Those shouldn't be the only 6 magazines you have. If you have an AR, if you're at all into shooting, you probably have 20, 30, or 40 magazines all over the place. Just rotate them out.
It's important. I mean, all those factors, they all are the difference between surviving and not.
And even not, if you're never in a situation, it's still just a cool sport.
Well,
it's like,
right.
Yeah. What have you lost?
It's the prep, yeah.
Yeah.
And everything that's being discussed today are great items to put on the Christmas lists.
Well, we're already good for Christmas, you and I.
No, but I mean, for listeners, the training, the laser grips, the flashlights, the magazines. I mean, all this stuff that you would budget. They're great opportunities.
I would have never thought to buy a training class for somebody. I tend to buy tangible things. Mm-hmm. And that is brilliant.
Oh,
that is.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you're doing. Is you're doing a life-changing thing.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You really are. I saw that Blackhawk, the company, Blackhawk with an exclamation point, has an AR case, a soft case, that looks like a tennis racket case. With bright colors, blue and red and stuff on it. Thinking, I could see a cause for that, reason for that. We had somebody call the show last week, and he's talking about carrying a backpack with a gun in it, and I was saying, who's going to do that? Well, I apologize to that person, because today I'm thinking, a backpack with extra mags or an extra gun or whatever. Now, I'm going to wear one still, because I think one on your body is the way to go.
You want to be in media control.
But having some kind of additional pack, whatever, I mean, I could even see a PDW, personal defense weapon, in there. Think about that FN, PS90? That little short bullpup gun? Shoots the 5.7 cartridge?
Yeah. How many rounds of that? 30 rounds?
There's 50 rounds in a mag.
50?
And there's a 50? Yes, 50 rounds in the mag.
Wow.
So 50 rounds, have 2 extra mags in a little short backpack that you're carrying around with you.
You'd want to make sure, if you bought the Blackhawk, you'd want to make sure you grabbed the right one when you did go to the tennis club, though.
Oh, my gosh.
It could raise all kind of eyebrows.
And we're back.
Okay, you got the match. You win.
That's right.
Whack it back.
He's got a wicked back.
I got nothing. I don't know where to go with that one. That's just too. I would if tennis is not my thing. So.
Wow. You disintegrated that ball.
I have seen people carry shotguns in their golf bags.
Yeah,
just stuck them down in there. Oh yeah,
makes sense.
It's where we were goofing off and shooting stuff on the golf courses. But there's a surprise, right?
And I think that goes to the fact that you have to carry everywhere, even where you're most comfortable, because that's where something is going to happen because you put your guard down. So carry everywhere.
Interesting you put it that way. Carry everywhere, even where you're most comfortable. Because some people are thinking, even where you're not supposed to or whatever. But you're right. We get to places, we get home, we take our gun off, right?
No. Okay,
if you're going to take it off, fine, but put it next to you, okay? But have it there. I just don't take it off.
Right.
But you have to have a comfortable holster to be able to do that, of course. Because if you don't, if you don't have a comfortable holster, you're not going to carry it anyway.
Right.
So I don't know. I was talking with the outfit where I called and I ordered a bunch of ammo yesterday. Talking with the gentleman there, I said, "Have you seen an increase in sales as a result of the Paris attack?" He said, "No, we haven't." So we were actually talking about that. He said, "If there's an attack, a shooting in the U.S., and politicians start talking about it as if they're going to ban something, then we see an increase in sales. But something like this does not cause an increase in sales." So, okay, that's an interesting point.
It's kind of sad that people need it in their face to say, "Oh, wow, there's an issue. I better address it now."
But they're only taking care of the now. They're not looking into the future to try to change differently what's happening.
Sure, it's reactionary. It's not prophylactic.
Well, and frankly, if somebody said, "Okay, I'm going to go spend $1,000 or $2,000 or $3,000 to buy ammo," and that's a lot of people are spending that much without any problem, they actually would be a lot better off going and taking a class somewhere. I was just on the Sig Sauer's website. I am knocked out at how many classes they have added to their academy. And a lot of them are one-day classes. dynamic performance rifle. I'm looking at dynamic performance pistol, carbine night class. All these are one-day defensive handgun skills for women. So spend $300 or $400 and take one of these one-day classes somewhere. That's going to be a whole lot more use to you than throwing another 2,000 rounds of ammo in the back of the closet.
Unless you can do both.
Well, yeah, because you're going to need the ammo for the class anyway.
Right. But, I mean, I guess what's the cost on your self-protection? What kind of budget? What can you do? Start making those little changes now. If it's a box of 20, if it's a box of 100, if it's a box of 500.
Whatever you can do.
That's right.
If it means you miss a dinner this month with your wife or whatever, it's...
Well, and as I mentioned, getting one of those airsoft guns that duplicates your carry pistol, it's just trigger time. It's coming out of a holster and drawing and moving forward, moving backward, doing some shooting on the move, getting familiar with it so that it feels comfortable in your hand. Mm-hmm. And I am always... frankly reluctant. I've gotten to be real reluctant to advise people to do a lot of dry firing with their own gun. Yeah, I know. Check it, make sure, and then somebody blows up their TV. I think an airsoft gun or even a blue gun, just an inert gun, can do a lot for you. And then use your gun for actually shooting real bullets.
Yeah, the only difficulty I see in an airsoft replica is I don't switch carry guns so often. I don't have one set carry gun. I always carry the Glock, for example.
Well, most people don't do that. You and
most sane people, yeah.
That's right. We're different. And as my wife keeps saying, she says, you're pretty different. Oh, okay.
That's polite.
She may mean something else by that. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, if I'm never not married, I'm heading to California. I'm going to find Sandy.
Sandy, holy cow.
Sounds like a dream girl.
So she's got lots of guns. And what did she say? She was 67?
68, yeah.
68 and still got a trim figure. I'm going, huh. Okay.
Oh, my.
I'm just thinking, okay, if our listeners could track her down, there would be a line of guys at her door. Like Jane Ann at Gunsight, she said, oh, yeah, she says, I see guys all the time. They look at her and go, wow, a woman with a 1911.
Doesn't get sexier than that.
It's pretty funny. This will come as no surprise to you, Michelle, but guys are easy.
No. What?
I mean, for us, a 1911 just does it. What can I tell you?
You don't need makeup. You don't need the dress. You don't need the shoes.
No. It's a cool gun, great holster. Yeah, I mean, all right, yeah. It's like cars and everything else. We like the jazzy stuff. I was talking with Brian Belinsky this week about something else, and we're talking about wood stocks. He said, Americans like pretty wood. We just do. Mm-hmm. It's just kind of interesting. So, yeah, we do. We just like our pretty guns. What can I tell you? So there you go. All right, well, you guys get out and do some shooting with those tins.
Yes, sir.
Have some fun.
Follow Michelle home.
Thing.
That's right.
I'm shooting at 327.
Yes, he is.
Hey, there you go. Everybody have a good time this week. Do some shooting and take care of your families.
Tell your friends about the Gun Talk After Show, a more informal setting featuring Tom, Michelle, and Jim commenting on topics that are important to you. Available on iTunes and other podcatchers, and the Gun Dealio smartphone app for iPhone and Android.